that at all. Most commissioners of finance are bagmen. They just put the money in the bag for the governor. The governor just dips his hand into it anytime he needs money, and that's what they do. That's what they do.
Okay,
you understand?
okay. So this is the other part of it where someone says, actually, we shouldn't. He blames the state governors and the state assembly as well. But somebody's saying that we should be blaming the federal government for not even asking how the monies were spent.
No, actually, just like I said, unfortunately, that is the challenge with this report of the ICPC.
And the ICPC is the federal government institution.
Yeah, because it's not been able to actually work, obviously, in synergy with the CBN, because there must be a kind of condition, which was one of the things that delayed the drawing of some of those funds. There were conditions that were attached. There were also minimum standards that were expected. It is still possible because, I mean, you still have issues of, which is also the challenge, of ghost workers that are there in many of the states. I mean, with revelations even in the military. I was so shocked that it was happening even in the Air Force, to the extent that it was alleged that the former chief of the defense staff, Alex Badi, was collecting over 500 million on a monthly basis from monies that were coming from salaries of
That's an allegation.
Yeah, I mean, it was there in court.
It's an allegation.
It was there in court. You know,
it was
tendered.
It's an allegation.
It was tendered charges. Those were charges. Okay. You know, before him in court. So it's still happening in many of the states. Unfortunately, there will be a need to see how the workforce in many of the states are reviewed. It is very important. That is one. Two, there's no way that, because it's a loan, and it should not be assumed like a free money.
It's going to be paid back.
It's a loan that would have been paid back. The only thing that is just there is the fact that it's like 9%, compared to like 20-something% you get from the other banks. So it also release some of the burdens that some of the states were having on backlogs that were used to pay salaries before, because quite a number of them were borrowing money from banks to pay salaries of workers. Even at that rate.
Go for elections.
No, for elections on one side, even for paying salaries of workers, was until the banks, they got to their peak and the bank said, no, I mean, this is becoming more than a threat to the survival on their banks. So the federal government also assisted them to reduce that burden, which would have been taking about 23% from their federal allocation, to reduce it to that of the 9%.
In other words, are you implying that when they got the bailout fund, some of them used a bit of it to settle the banks?
No, they have, because they have to reschedule some of their loans.
Okay.
Now, that's another area that I have issues. Like I said earlier on, all those loans that were taken, they were taken for some things. Let me give you an example. In the particular state I'm talking about, a school, a mega school, a very good standard school, was built at the cost of 1.3 billion. When, I think on calculation, a classroom in that school cost about 20 million naira. Just one classroom in the school. And
what was the equipment in the classroom?
Yeah, I think that is going to be very unfortunate.
You see what I'm driving at?
Let you finish.
What I'm driving at is this. Now imagine, that the governor in question borrowed money to build that school, and there's an AISPO that every month, when the allocation comes in, so amount of money will be removed to the bank for the loan over a period of time. You understand? So at the end of the day, the money that comes in through allocation, both local government and... Now, imagine, local government, for example, local government, the states are not supposed to hold local government staffs because their allocation comes directly. But all our governors, no single one, all of them are mortgaged local government money through their joint account thing. That's why I still go back to it. Neota, apart from that, the fact that money was misappropriated, the federal government was not supposed to consider giving them that money. Meanwhile, I sympathize with the Nigeria Labour Congress. I sympathize with civil servants. I sympathize with pensioners.
I'm not sure you are sympathizing with them.
You understand? But the fact remains that the federal government should not be paying for the philandering nature of our governors.
Okay, as we wind down, Suraj, your closing thoughts.
No, I think it's important that we separate some of these issues from politics. For me, especially when it has to do.
It's not about politics.
I mean, when we have to, because I deliberately would not want to go into particular states, you know, so that examples that are laid, we don't reduce it to any states. We're looking at a general issue. I mean, some of those things are still in the realms of just speculation and allegations. But the most important thing, one, there was no way a responsible government at the federal level will look at the Nigerians first and foremost, and then civil servants with the agitation of even labor, without coming to the assistance of the state government to ensure not only encouraging, like we want to assume, the philandering nature of the governors, but to at least put food on the tables of the people who have worked for the state. And the intervention bailout fund was clear. Bring us your bill as at that time with what you were owing the workers, and that was projected up to like December of the month. So the local governments, like he said, it was also difficult for some of them to be paying local government and leaving the state civil servants. So they reached agreements on how they want to reschedule the payment, such that one side does not feel jettisoned or abandoned against the others. But the bailout fund, like I said, the next move is to start asking, how are the states striving towards self-sufficiency to the extent that we don't have a reversal to the last experience?
Your closing thoughts?
Well, salary crisis as of today is a critical issue, honestly, in the country, and it has a lot to do with the economy of the country. But I still insist that for the government to intervene in any state, number one, there must be a forensic audit of such a state by the federal government, not the state governor bringing some stupid papers from their state to Abuja and they will approve. That's one. Number two, I expect that there are some agencies in this country that receive their salary directly from CBN. It does not necessarily need to pass through the state. The federal government can talk to liaise with the banks that the state government are doing, so that it will be directly to the workers. Because as soon as the thing gets to the state, the governors brings their kitchen cabinet around to start talking something else. Even with the NLC, most of the NLC chairmen we all know are puppets. It is the governor that installed them. So whatever they want them to do, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. No, that's the truth. The NLC can quote me. That's the truth. They should live up to their billings. Their workers who they are protecting should be highly and exclusively protected from the antics of the governors and their paymasters.
Thank you very much. Fumi Shaw, Bavarian, the Assistant Organizing Secretary, PDP Ocean State. Thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
Larry Suraj, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you for coming.
Always my pleasure.
For you at home that allowed us to be a part of your evening, I want to say thank you. We thank you for the comments that were sent in. Till we bring you another edition. Bye-bye.